All right, hopefully I'm live. All right, good morning. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go, where the veggies are. So today I'm going to can up some salsa. Thanks for joining in. I've already hit the tomatoes in boiling water and put them in a cold water bath. That is to help get the skins off them. Now I've made salsa and just left the skins on, and I may, if some of the skin doesn't peel off, I don't worry about it too much. Got my food bucket. So besides the tomatoes, I got a full pot of it over here. I've got green peppers from the garden. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got jalapenos. I got 5 jalapenos and I got 1 hot pepper. Now I may not use all 5. And my purple onions I got from the garden. I got 3 of those. Now I may grab a yellow onion from our store. That stuff we bought from the store just to make sure we have enough in there. But those are going to be my main ingredients. Sometimes I do add cilantro or cilantro, however you want to say it. But it's already all seeded and it gets pretty bitter at that time. But since we have my main people here, it's time to go get the start of the show. Who is now eating. So I'll let her eat and then we'll bring Binks in. So the first thing we'll do is get the tomatoes. I'll get the messy, sloppy job done first. So kind of the best thing to do is to put some sort of towel down underneath because it is a very wet job. And the whole idea is to, and remember my sponsor at Cutco Knives, Lucky O'Day. So what I do is I just take the kind of the top off and then peel it. And put it in hot water and then put it in cold water really loosens up the skin. Like I said, I'm not worried if I don't get all the skin off. It's not really that important, but it does make for a little bit better salsa. And the salsa has multiple uses. I can also use it in chili, in other dishes. So what I do, I'm just cutting away the part of the tomato that might be bruised. I have plenty of them. So these are tomatoes that I picked throughout the week. I did take a picture of it. Later we're taking posts, kind of give you what I started with, and also a video. It kind of has an intro. So this is the monotony of making salsa. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. So yesterday was really kind of interesting on YouTube. I had started posting my throwing videos, and right away, they're just getting thousands of views. And I'm like, well, this is kind of nice because it wasn't doing that last week. Last week, I was getting almost like that. I ended up getting, I think by the end of the day, I ended up getting 60,000 views. No, there goes my signal. Sun got bright. All right, hopefully I'm back. So for some reason, I just got a ton of views. I mean, 60,000 views out of, which I would say left field. Not complaining. I don't know what that'll mean money-wise. The other day, instead of making my usual quarter, I made like $6. I have no idea where that came from. So I noticed after I complained, hey, Oki Khan, thanks for coming in. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just getting the tomatoes ready, getting the skin off them. And then once I get all the ones processed, I will clean out that pan, and then that's where I'll start cooking. Okay, I'll just peel it right out there. There we go. And see, that works even better. So the princess is now done eating. So I'll bring her in. Then I'll have to wash my hands again. Want to come and see your crowd? Hi, Kiki. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, let's go say hi to everybody. Let's go say hi to everybody. And the star of our show, Binks. Yay! She's so happy to be here. Dun, 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 dun. She's my little putty kitty. She goes, I don't know what's happening. Say hello to everybody. Say hello to everybody. Hello. So, of course, I'll wash my hands again. We don't need to have any kitty hair in our salsa. See if I can catch any comments here. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. So I'm making salsa here today. Oh, HP, great to see you. I haven't seen you here for a while. Thanks for dropping in, Rabbit Coyote. How you doing? Just put up some salsa the other day. There you go. So yeah, so if I don't put it up, the tomatoes will go to waste. You know, we eat as many as we can, but right now they're producing faster than we can eat them. So this is one of my favorite ways of storing them, even more so than just canning tomatoes itself. Because just about every time I use tomatoes, I'm also using green peppers. I'm also using onions. So why not just put them all in there? So what I do is I just tear the skins off it. Makes it a little more pliable, I guess, than having the skins on it. Obviously, the bigger tomatoes work out easier than the smaller ones do. And this is kind of the monotonous part of the job. But salsa is low in calories, high in nutrients, and uninvited guest. And just really good flavor. So if you're dieting, salsa is a great thing to add to, chicken. Chicken will give you all the protein you need, and the salsa will give you the vitamins and essential minerals that you need. So with the vegetables, very high in vitamin C, vitamin K, potassium, selenium, magnesium to a point. All those things that help your body run. Sometimes we forget our body's a machine, and our machine needs the proper nutrition. And if it doesn't get it, then it starts breaking down. That's when you get sick. And, Randy, good morning. So I went to the Big R store. Actually, it's went through so many different names. Used to be Stock and Field, and they had a very bad inventory problem, so I used to call it No Stock and Field. And now I think RP Lumber bought them. And they had a really good amount of canning supplies. So I picked up 3 cases of jars. I do have a lot of them, but I am using a lot of them to store my beans and rice and sugar. So glassware is really good for storing dry goods and much better than using plastic. I've been doing it for a couple of years that way, and then there was a few articles out there saying pretty much the same thing. Yeah, potatoes, I haven't had a chance to clean them up yet, but picked a whole bucket full of potatoes yesterday. I only got 2 more grow bags to go through. Then I had a squash there, and then I actually grabbed some field corn. And I'm gonna grab a couple of ears a day and store them to possibly help feed the deer during the winter. Something like that. So this is the real messy part of making it, is just getting the skin off the tomatoes. I kind of threw them in there in mass instead of doing them at one at a time, which you're supposed to. So I vacuum seal a lot of dry goods in mason jars. Yeah. So I don't vacuum seal them, but I throw a couple of oxygen absorbers in there, which basically do the same thing. Because when I do go to get them out, there is a seal on there, and I have to pop that lid with effort. Now, this bucket probably won't go in the garden. Tomatoes are very high in acid, and sometimes that can mess your soil up. But I will throw it out in the field because it's organic and it doesn't need to go in the trash. But my cucumber slices and anything else that I cut up goes into the garden to help stuff grow the next year. And some of these tomatoes, they're de-skinning them. You're not getting a lot of tomato, but you're getting some. And I do like my salsa. And you can put it on chicken, but it also does well with chips. While I'm having a margarita next to you. And you see my first round of taters were a bust. Oh, deer ate off the tops. I lucked out, maybe because I put them in grow bags. Because every time I planted them just in the dirt, I didn't have much luck. I did like 6 hills last year. 2 of the hills, the ants decided to make an ant nest. I kind of ruined that. So far, I've been getting about, I would say, 12 to 18 good potatoes out of each grow bag. So I find that to be a huge win. The tomatoes did well in the grow bags too. Although I'm thinking I might have to up it to a 50-gallon bag next year for the tomatoes. I don't think I need to do it for the potatoes though. Only because they're root bound, but they're still producing, and I'm having a really good tomato crop. And because I got them up in the air on the grow bags, I'm getting less rot on the tomatoes, so I'm happy about that. So what didn't go well in the grow bag was zucchini, and I just feel that there is not enough soil for that big of a plant. But yeah, And it's okay if they die off. Some die off earlier than others, as long as we got 9 potatoes out of it, so that's good. Basically, here in the Midwest, they should be all dying off by now. I left one in the dirt probably a week longer than I wanted to because I still had potatoes from my last harvest. Now, we like potatoes here. So we have them for breakfast, we have them for dinner. I'll make fries out of them. So my plan today is one of my days I work overtime. It'll be interesting to see if they have anything for me to do. We've been running out of product. We're processing it faster than they can make it. But we're being hopeful. Optimistic is the word. But if I do have time, I'll do some more throwing. I was really surprised on my performance yesterday. I couldn't throw at the high school because school has started. And it's actually high school and grade school. It's, K all the way up through senior year. And when I come driving up, I see that there's kids in the playground and the throw field is right next to it. So I went and talked to one of the adults. He said, "Nah, you have to wait till after school hours." And I said, "I understand. Concern and safety for the kids is number one priority." But unfortunately, I work second shift, so when school's out, so am I. So this is my water to cool the tomatoes down. So I'm going to dump that. And then rinse it out. And this is what I'll make the salsa in. This one I already got getting hot. This is what I'm going to sit there and that's going to be my water bath for the process the cans. So I did that with pickles the other day, and that worked out really well. I uploaded that video, and that was on sweet pickles. And probably if I do get more, because cucumbers are really slowing down now, which they do at this time of the year. But if I get enough, I'll make a batch of dill pickles for the wife. She likes dill pickles. I'm okay with them. I'm just not, they're not my favorite. Let's put it that way. Bread and butter pickles are. Also, while I'm making it, wife goes, "Do we have enough sugar?" I said, "Yes, we do." Went down to where I store my stuff, in a secret location guarded by 16 hellhounds. And then when I went to the store, I bought 8 more pounds. I got the second green bean growing. There you go. So I'm letting mine go to seed now, because I did plant, I believe, what's considered a heirloom plant. And I'll use them for next year to plant more. I'm okay with green beans. I mean, I'll eat them. They're not my favorite, but my wife likes them a lot because she made a ham and onion and green bean dinner. And she was like, "Well, how come you're not digging into it?" I said, "Well, I'm not really a fan of that many green beans." He goes, "Why'd you plant them?" I said, "Well, I planted them for you." Silly. But everything else that I plant, I like to eat. So there's tomatoes. And those are the first things that I'll put in the pot. Now, I could have sat there and cut them up while I had them on the board. But I'll be honest with you, it makes a lot of mess. And it's just as easy to do it here. They're going to kind of fall apart once I cook them anyway. But I just sit there and kind of cut them up into the bowl. One thing is, I do have a lot of juice. It's actually juicier than I want it to be. So I'm going to try to cook it down. Here, let me catch up with Chad here. A lot of different growing methods. There we go. Yeah, I did the grow bags the first time this year. I'm really happy with them. Bush beans growing right now. There we go. Pole beans are done. There we go. Asparagus, Brussels sprouts are my three favorites. So, I'm a true Midwestern. My favorite vegetables is corn. And after corn comes cucumbers. And after cucumbers comes squash. And then tomatoes. And peppers. Well, I like green peppers. I am a fan of green peppers. That skin there? Yes. Yes. Got you. I do like my green peppers. I eat the heck out of them here. So here the tomatoes are pretty chunky. And that's okay because, like I said, a lot of times this stuff will be used for chili. I do like chili. And when we make it, we make a lot of it. I actually been eating chili for lunch. I had used it as one of my preps, and they had some artesian band on closeout for like 50 cents a can. I bought them. And I'm now having one of those like twice a week. So, got tomatoes in there. I try to rinse things as I go. And wash my hands often. Just don't like to have that ucky stuff on there. So now that I got the tomatoes in there, I'll put them on medium heat. And pretty much what I'm trying to do is, I don't need a water bath right yet, so I'm just going to put that on simmer and kind of cover it so I ain't losing all the water. So next thing I'll chop up will be the peppers. Now, I don't know how they grow them 3 times the size at the store, but this is about as big as they get before I have to cook them out. Because what happens if I leave them on the vine too long, they start getting that little mold there. Now I can cut around that. There were some I had to toss. So usually when they get about this size, I pick them. They have a lot of flavor when they're that size. Always give them a good wash. I wash the dust from the field and, bugs crawling on them, stuff like that. And depending on how zesty I want to make it is how many jalapenos and how many of the other ones. So here I'm probably going to put in, maybe considering the size of the batch, maybe only about 3 jalapenos in one of the hotter ones, which is going to make a pretty hot, for me, is going to make a pretty hot zesty salsa. For the wife, it'll be just right. And like I said, most of the stuff will get used in chili. Although there will be times we will sit on the deck with a nice margarita, listening to some good music. I had to, when I was doing the grilling, I had to sit there and replace the music with the YouTube stuff. Otherwise, they're saying I was being naughty. One of those copyright infringements. And broke out in a sweat. Yeah. No rain, Randy. and none in the forecast. I think the Mississippi River took it all. So a lot of times, especially around this time of the year, it just won't make it from you. It'll try, but it just doesn't quite get here. I mean, my garden could use some water. Right now I'm watering it, but nothing sparks up the garden than a fresh rain. Rain will bring those cucumbers back. But the way it is right now, me watering them, that doesn't really do much. It keeps the plant sometimes alive, sometimes it kills the plant. Especially this time of the year. The acorn squash is pretty much produced. I'm gonna wait for the plant to die off completely before I harvest it. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to do that. You're supposed to be able to hang them up down in the basement, but it hasn't always worked out the best for me. But we'll eat a bunch of it right away because we really do like acorn squash. All right, let me see here. Hey, Carbon Q, how we doing? Thanks for joining in. I'm cleaning up some salsa. We're getting soaked here at the Lake of the Ozarks. I was just at the Lake of the Ozarks. Not the weekend just passed, but the weekend before that. They're in Laurie, Missouri. And there's a local band here called 7N7 that goes out there and plays once a year. So we went out there and surprised them, and we did videos around there. And plus, Lake of the Ozarks is fun, and I have a brother and sister-in-law that live out there, within an hour. And then also, when I was there last year, we stayed at a cabin with some friends. I found a local gym to work out at in Laurie, Warrior Fitness. And I called the owner up and asked him if he had day rates, and he did. And the rates were really reasonable. I'm not going to say what they are in case they increase, but it was well worth going in for a day rate. So I went in there with my buddy. I paid for both of us because he was my spotter. And, their gyms are not used to seeing somebody like me lift the weight I do. And as we're warming up, I told my buddy, I said, about time I started getting close to 3 plates on each side, I get noticed. And sure enough, when we went up to 315 pounds, and that's 3 plates. That's probably about 140, maybe 145 kilos, this worm. But I could tell I was part of the conversation in a few places. And he come over and he said he was concerned that I was going to bend his bar. I said, well, where'd you get? Did you get this at Walmart? I said, and even a Walmart bar should be able to hold this weight. And he said, well, he had somebody bend one of his bars before. I said, well, then I would probably look at where you're sourcing it from. I said, the bar should be fine. Because it was a $350 bar. They can range up to a couple $1,000s. But $350 bar should hold 405 pounds. So I told him to be safe, and I said, hey, you want to sit there and hold my camera and film the lift for me? He goes, sure. So knocked out 405. I went up to 425. After 425, I went up to 450. And he's filming it for me each time. And then all of a sudden I've got the local sheriff comes in, which Rabbit Coyote, you know who it is. And he starts asking me how old I am, and, friendly manner. And I'm like, did they call you? Go, oh, yeah. They said, you got to check this guy out. So while I was there last weekend, I called him up and Asked if he minded I work out again. He goes, "Oh no, man." He goes, "Please do." So I went out there and did a live stream and had a really good time. So I was glad I did a workout because we did have quite a few cocktails at the Rock Bottom Resort. They're in uh, Sunset Beach, Missouri. So anyway, get back to the main part of the story. I know, get on with it. They got invited to open for Foreigner at the Ozark Amphitheater. I think Labor Day weekend. So that band is now going to open for Foreigner, which I thought was awesome. And I was talking to the wife about maybe we should make another trip out there. You know, it would be hard. She's school has started back, and it's a very busy time for her. So that's probably not going to happen. Unless we win the lotto. If we win the lottery, it's definitely going to happen. So right now I'm cutting up the jalapenos. Let me catch back up the chat too. He is top notch. So that Monday last year when I was there, I worked out. And he was so excited, you know, to have me at the gym that he asked me to come back out and work out on Wednesday. Because I was staying there until Thursday. So I said, sure, I'll do that. And I was, you know, getting ready for a competition. So on the way there, we stopped at a pea shooter store. And he comes walking out of the back room with one of his customs. And I'm going, "Are you following me?" And he's laughing and hands it to my buddy. "Here, check it out." You know, my buddies just couldn't believe that he just handed it to him. I said, "Yeah." I said, "A little bit more laid back around here." So that was a really good time. And he is a top-notch guy. I do like him. I was hoping to see him when I was there last time. But our paths didn't cross. Maybe next time. So I'm still toying with the idea of just telling the wife, pack up, we're going. And we even have a place to stay. We have to. There was that one inn. I think it was Lakeside Inn. It's not fancy, but the AC works. The shower's got great pressure. I was really, really happy about that. Nothing worse than going to a motel and having a poor shower pressure. This one had serious pressure. I was happy. So those are the purple. These are the purple onions from my garden. In all honesty, what I paid, I could have bought more onions. This is something I'm going to do in grow bags next year's onions. I think that'll help me control them. So that's going to be one of my experiments next year. Is going to be growing onions in grow bags. And I really don't think this is going to be enough onion for the salsa. So I do have a yellow onion that I will add to it to kind of make up for it. So once again, thanks for everybody from jumping in, sharing your day with me. hoping I'll get this knocked out in time. I do. So I got about, I got 2.5 hours. I got plenty of time. Let me see what I got going here. Oh, Imperial Tourism Standard. It is funny because the Imperial is far easier to calculate with. We use it in the Army. We use it in chemistry. A lot of other sciences. I do have a degree in science, so I'm well familiar with the metric system. It's easier to do math with. It's very difficult to do math in the standard system. Because it just don't add up. It ain't based on 10. But there always was talk every now and then to go to it. And then the talking stops for one reason or another. I still find myself using the metrics and distance. The track and field now over here is in the metric. It used not to be. We used to, we ran the 100 meter. We ran, or not the 100, we ran the 100-yard dash. It was a 220-yard dash. So that has changed. Probably for a good reason, too. So, the thing about onions is when you start seeing them get iffy, you can always cut around that stuff. Not that one. That one's too iffy. Nothing like a soft onion. Should I put this one in the ground? Will it get bigger? What are your questions? Should this get planted? And if so, will the onion get even bigger than this? That's going to be like an instant poll. I'm going to set that off to the side because I do have the ability to plant that. Might just put that in a planter and bring it in the house for the winter. Onions are very tolerable to cold weather too. I mean, you can plant bulbs in the fall and they will sprout out right up through the snow. So when I do the grow bags, this will be the ones I put in the earliest by far. I'm going to cut around that green portion there. Probably don't need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And let's see about my pole. Should I plant that big onion? Nasty smell when they're bad. Yep, this one didn't plant. Plant the top. So you can cut it and just put the top on. I'll try that. See what happens. Get one of those long-term experiments. Now, if the wife was here, she would cut this stuff in much smaller pieces. But the only one I haven't put in is the real hot one. Now, what I got to keep remembering is not to wipe my eyes until hey, Umny Rumney, how we doing? Until I wash my hands really well. So these have more zing than the jalapenos do, but not as much as the habanero. So I'm only putting one of these in. I cut one of these into our eggs one morning and we were like, woohoo! You're still able to eat it. I'm not really a fan of hot foods, but I don't mind having a little added zest every now and then. All right. There's most of the hard stuff done. Whew. So as usually, I end up filling the food bucket doing this. So now to kind of clean up the area. And I get an idea, this is about the size of potatoes I get. Sometimes a little bigger, sometimes a little smaller. Really good for eating. And I think tomorrow I'm going to process some squash. I've done that before. I don't think I'll get away with the live stream 2 days in a row here. But if I can, I will. And then Thursday, back to the gym or Big Bench Thursday. I don't know if everybody wants to hang around and wait for me to put this stuff down. Try to give you an idea how it's looking. There we go. So right now I'm just going to cook it, which will help in the sterilizing. And also I want to get some of the moisture out of it. And while it's cooking, the tomatoes should break up into smaller and smaller pieces. They ain't beaten on them. And that's why I don't worry about breaking them down too much beforehand. Right now it's pretty runny. And salsa can be that way. I mean, yeah, at the Mexican restaurant, it's kind of a runny salsa. I probably have more onions and peppers than you usually would see in there. But like I said, this will probably be used more for chili than anything else. I do add apple cider vinegar to the mix. It calls for lemon or lime. Yeah, lemons that have lime does the same thing. That helps make it a little more zesty and brings the acid content up to help with canning. Alrighty, and heat up a tad and let that go. And pretty much I'm gonna let that simmer for a while. I've got the Glassware already cleaned. I did wash it. So these are the jars I'm putting them in. And what I do is I pop them in the microwave. And I nuke them for 2 minutes. And I figured out kill just about anything that's on them. And what it doesn't kill, the processing will kill. And I'll usually do it twice. I'll do it early, get it knocked out of the way. Hope I won't knock my lids all over the place like I did when I was doing the cucumbers. So let me get my tool here and see if I can catch up with chat. Doesn't rain, so yeah, it can rain. I don't care. I did catch up with the lawn. So I got everything on. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate it. Am I alone? Well, I'm alone today at the house, but the missus is at work. School has started. She teaches second grade. So now I'll be able to do more of my projects in the morning because Mom will be already gone. When she's during the summer, when she's not, we try to do things together. Got my fantastic shirt from the Body Beat Down. Really nice, comfortable shirt. If you want one of these, get a hold of Michael. I think they're a deal at $50. I don't know how much they cost. Miss Worm, thank you for wearing mine. I appreciate it. And I think I gave away more out of my last batch than I've sold. But to get the word out, tomorrow I hope I'll get some mailed out. Got 2 to send out to my kids. Actually 3. So I'll have 3 packages going out tomorrow. All together with a sir. That's true. I got everybody here. Thank you. So Michael sent me this one and I sent him mine. We're both enjoying each other's shirt. I did wear this for the gym yesterday, but I only wore it while I was there. And it'll get, I'm still flogging them every chance I can. I appreciate it. I've learned a new word, flogging. Actually, one of the Irish bands I like listening to is Flogging Mollies. My daughter turned me on to that. Now, a long time ago. So even the new bands I listen to are not new. So initially you got that many going. What I want to do is I want to cook this down. Then if I have time, I will go do some throws. Yep, thank you. Fast food folks getting way testy these days. Yeah, I know. Boy, don't mess up those fries. I am not a fan of fast food. I will avoid it as often as I can. If I am going to stop while we're traveling to get a sandwich now, we usually go to Arby's. I can survive McDonald's, but I'd rather not. I never feel good after I eat that stuff. And like I said, I'm on my cooking videos. It takes an hour to make a good meal, whether it's breakfast, whether it's lunch, whether it's dinner. To make a really good home cooked meal from start to finish, it's usually about an hour. But it's thank you. It's time well spent. Don't wear white. Yeah, hey, look, I cook it with tomatoes and everything, and the shirt's still clean. It's a miracle. Where I come from, Central Illinois. Born and raised here. I have been around the world. I was in the Army. Spent a year in Korea. Been down in Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, a lot of the Virgin Islands, some unnamed islands when we're getting ready for Grenada. And yeah, it was a miracle. And when the wife and I retire, we're going to take a trip to Ireland, Scotland, and England at least. We'll want to spend about a month. I think if we're going to go overseas, we want to be there for about a month. So that's one of our goals when we retire in the year 25, if we're still alive. Yep, Korea, South Korea. But I was up on the border. Annyeonghaseyo. I have cigarettes, tambe anjoseo. I have a beer, michuano joseo. I used to know a lot more, mostly cuss words. So I won't use those here. A lot of my shirts are black. A lot of ones, especially the ones I wear at work, because we're moving a lot of heated metal. And when I do wear the white ones, by the end of the day, I've got a black mark across here. So far, they've been washing out. I think when the wife met me, I owned about 6 pair of jeans and 30 black t-shirts. And that was my wear. And after we got married, they just kept disappearing. And these collared shirts and polos showed up, which weren't necessarily a bad thing. And now I'm back to t-shirts. The idea is you want to get this cooked really well, get all those flavors to intermix with each other. This will be the apparatus that I ladle it through. And then I'll put them in the water bath. And for points, it calls for 10 minutes, but I usually do 15. I like to do a little bit longer than I need to. They just don't fit. Yeah, and it can be that way. My wife actually buys a certain type of t-shirt that fits her better than regular ones. So a lot of times at school, they're doing, school shirts. She'll actually go buy the shirt and then give it to the person to put whatever logo or saying it needs to be on it. So shirts fit me just fine. The only thing I had to do is when I bought a sports coat for my daughter's wedding. It was a cowboy theme. And for a coat to get around my shoulders, I have to order a 54 just so it gets around my shoulder, get it tailored. So I spent, AT&T is getting mad at me now. There we go. So I spent like $100 on the sports coat, and I spent $100 getting it tailored. But now it looks good. No, it's not designed for, I don't know, it'll work out pretty well. But you're right, you need to have some extra material. So probably what you need to buy is extra long. So whichever brand you're doing, you have to probably buy it an extra long or extra tall. But yeah, some clothes just don't work well on certain body styles. I appreciate everybody stopping in here, and I'm not ending the stream. Just letting you know I do appreciate you spending your time with me. What I'll do is I'll hit the glassware for there in 2 minutes, just in case there are some microbes I didn't kill off the first time. How old I am? I am 61 years old. Or as I like to say, level 61. I need one of those mashers. Write that down. All those things you mash down with. I don't think I have one of those. But what I do have I have a mixer. Now, what's really cool about this is I stopped at a secondhand store, and I was able to buy, I won't be able to find them. Hopefully they're still in there. I was able to buy some special beaters. for bread making. I'm going to have to ask the wife what she did with them. Little coffee maker out of the way. Da-da-da. Get thought of this sooner. Now I'll get those tomatoes all beat up. All righty. That made quick work. And I see what I've missed here now. You don't like coffee. Old enough to know better. There we go. But still wild enough not to care. So, yep, I believe fitness is key. Coffee, I can, 10 years older than John. There we go. I can take coffee. I can take it or leave it. Sometimes I'll have it in the morning. A lot of times I like to have it with my favorite creamer, which is usually Irish cream. But if I don't have a cup of coffee, I'm fine. I'm not one of those people that have to have coffee. So I think my last cup of coffee was probably sometime last week. Sometimes the wife and I are in the mood, we'll make a cup. If I get the gumption, I might get up extra early and make her a cup before she goes to school. So a lot of times what happens is she gets up, I'm up, but then I lay back down, and the next thing I know, it's, she's up at 5, and I lay back down, and the next thing I know, it's 7. And she's already headed out to work. And like I said, today and tomorrow are my long days, my 10-hour days, so I usually want to get a little bit more sleep on those days. So, hey, 12 thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, not even an hour yet. So, yeah, I'm getting this cooked down pretty nice. Now we've got a boil going here. So we'll cut heat down just a little bit. Don't want it to boil. I just want to lose some of its moisture, which it has. Now, one thing I do have makes work easier is I have heat-resistant gloves. So I can sit there and hold hotter material. We'll have to bring some more towels up. Start using them all. Time to do another line. Could you make a healthy menu? I can. Absolutely. Do I follow it myself all the time? No, I like bacon. I'm going to have bacon. But healthy menu is anything that you want to have. First of all, try to make or cook the meal as much as possible. Understand that there is a place for canned foods and that, but a lot of times canned foods have a lot of salt in them. But protein is important. If you're vegetarian, it's very difficult for you to get enough protein. So hopefully if you're a vegetarian, you're not adverse to drinking maybe dairy, because dairy does have a lot of protein in it. But if not, then you might want to find other ways of getting maybe a protein powder to get into your system. I mean, beans do have protein in them, but you've got to eat a lot of beans. But otherwise, fish, especially tuna has got a lot of protein in it. Eggs are about 6 grams of protein per egg, about 100 calories, and really good calories. Regular milk has 8 grams of protein per serving. Fairlife milk, which I drink, has 13 grams per serving. And that's why I drink Fairlife. It has half the sugar of regular milk, and it's got 5 more grams per serving. But try to get a yellow and green vegetable in at least once a day. Eat more meals rather than large meals. Large meals kind of put you in the I want to take a nap mode. You don't want to do that. So I think this is, for me to get it to really, really, really cook down, I could literally go throw discus and it would still be probably juicier than what I wanted it. So I think what we'll do is we'll get ready to start scooping this out. So we'll start with how many did I nuke? 7? I know I'm going to need more than that. Pretty sure I'm going to need more than that. And it's okay to process more than what you need. I got 4 more, so we'll get them processed here. A lot of times you're using a water bath to do this. And because I'm only going to do it once, I'll hit it for 3 minutes. A lot of times you're using a water bath to do this, but it's not necessary that you do that all the time. I'll run some hot water through this. Let it get hot. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kind of run it around the water bath. Understand that I think that did the trick. The processing is going to remove a lot of the problems too. I'll leave it on simmer just in case I come back to it. I have my ladle. Better be careful now. I'll put the boiling water for a few minutes. So if there's any bad things in there, this pretty much does the trick. Now what you do is you try to do about half ladle loads. And wow, you want to leave about a 1/2 inch head space. About right. So you got to be careful about how much you initially put in. You want to go in there and add it slowly. Because if you do too much head space, you can actually break the jar in the processing. I mean, too little, and if you do too much, it allows for bad things to happen. There's a lot of things that you can. If you do need to top it off a little bit, sometimes you just grab a little extra juice and throw it in there. So, yeah, definitely looks like I might actually use the whole case. And then I do have some extra glassware that I can use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the lids on these now. So you put the lids on lightly. You don't want to seal them, because when you process them, you do want to let the air escape. And what happens is, when you pull them out of the bath, that air is very hot. And then you wait about a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes, and then you tighten it down. And what it's going to do now is, did I miss one? Like, I got one more lid than I've got glassware. So I must have left one in there. I'll move these up. I was thinking a dozen of these would do the trick. But I may need a little bit extra. Might be okay. I'm going to be very close. I know I'm missing Chad here. I'm going to have to really try to catch up to it. Oh, there we go. And for some reason, probably still have one in the dishwasher. But that's close enough. What I have left, I could maybe get one more. Which I still have time to do. At 6, 9, 10, 11. Somewhere, I bet you there's a glassware I haven't seen. Voila! I found you. La, 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 la. All right. I do have enough for one more pint. That's 12 pints. You just put them on the shelf. First I'm going to put them in the water bath. Let me see. What did I miss? Salsa's tomato base. Latin spicy sauce. Yep. Salsa over baked potatoes with cheese. Ooh, I think that sounds good. New York City, get a rope. I remember that one. That isn't me. You put that in the freezer. No. So once they get sealed, they're good for at least a year. If you see my video where I was uncanning stuff that I canned over 10 years ago, it was still edible. Probably a lot of the nutrients had kind of gone from them, but definitely was still an edible product. Now we can shut this off. So this is my water bath. Now I have a canning water bath, but it's big and bulky, and I'd rather just do it this way in smaller batches. So it looks like I have room to comfortably do 5. So what I'll do is I'll actually just do them in 3 batches of 4. So kick it up to high heat. Those already have a boil. And then I process them for 15 minutes. Takes probably about 16 minutes. Just, I feel better doing it that way. Generally it's 10 minutes for pints, 15 minutes for quarts. But I give it an extra 5 minutes just to make sure everything stays healthy. All right, let's see what I've missed. Probably missed a lot. You can make from fresh. Yep, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos. Yeah, it'd be a little hard to do. It doesn't reach through the screen. Yep. Hot water. Yep. Butter. It is better in smaller batches. Hey, Arkman Wildman, how you doing? She's at school. She's at work, and then later on, I go to work. Today's my 10-hour days. Because you got to make the money. I don't know how long I'll keep doing that. I think I'm going to start getting to the point in the fall where maybe I'll just work my 5/8 and then work the weekend for a couple days. And then when the weather gets really bad and I can't do anything anyway, then I'll be okay to just go ahead and or let that cool down a little bit. Until that liquid in there in the hot glass, it might break. Then when it gets bad weather and that, I'll think I'll work considerably more overtime and make the money. So I can trim the beard down a little bit shorter than I usually do. I was doing some trimming with the scissors and comb, and I realized it had gotten really close right there. It was going to look, well, it was going to look silly. So I just got the closer one and trimmed it off, which is good to do from time to time. I should have enough for one more. There we go. So 12 pints. And what I'll do is after I process them, I'll write the dates on the lid. So kind of tighten it and back it up about a quarter turn. Tighten it, back it up about a quarter turn. Yep. And then you get enough to where it'll kind of seal, but you do want to have the ability for some of the air to escape, because you are bringing it up to a boil again. And if you don't, well, the glass will break, and that's no fun. So, otherwise, all right, let me take care of this. Get this cleaned up. I'll be right back. I find it easier to kind of get everything kind of pre-rinsed out. So I'll just boil it and cut heat down a little bit. This is a salsa I made a couple weeks ago. And pickles I made 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So I have more. I'll probably do at least use them for chips. I'll also use them for chili. Another cooking thing, probably put them over chicken. So a lot of times we do what's called Italian chicken, where we're putting spaghetti sauce over the chicken and mozzarella cheese. I will just probably use the salsa. I'm doing that. Let's see what I missed. Retired at 45. Got beat up for being in the steel industry too long. Yeah, that could do it. We actually had a young man, and I don't know how he did it, but here in Illinois, he went to take a sample and he fell in the forge. And that was it. He was done. Yeah. That's a good place to be. I still need to work. Even when you get the place paid off, you got to pay taxes. Of course, that's one of the nice things about wanting to move to Missouri is your all taxes are like next to nothing compared to ours. I was jealous. So then when you do open up your canned foods and that, when you open up, you listen for that of the vacuum. If you come up and you see that the lid's popped up, then you got to throw it away. So I got those going. So I've got 2 more batches at 15 minutes. So what I will probably do is I'll go out and do some throws. I'll film that with the camera and put those on there. Once again, I don't know why, and I'm not complaining, YouTube, thank you very much. But I usually average, on good days, average about 15,000 views. If I put a lot of content out. Yesterday I got 60,000 views on a couple of throwing videos and a couple of lifting videos. One of my throwing videos got 23,000 views. I haven't had something perform like that in a long, long time. So I was very happy about that. So I did live stream today. It's kind of a little bit celebration. Yay! Also, remember Casey Little Owl? They kicked her off for a week, and then they took 800 hours of viewing time from her. And she was almost at that 4,000. So if you could maybe run her shorts, or her playlist. She has one playlist. If you could run her playlist in the background when you get a chance, I'd appreciate that. Let's try to get her 800 hours back. I think I got her about 4 hours back yesterday at work, and I will do that again. I'm not going on holiday, but I stuck to it. And there's, 2 schools of thought of that. We went on holiday. We took our kids places. Welders, there you go. My buddy was a welder. He passed away this year. Really sad. He was my best friend. But we took the kids on vacation. We took them to the Dakotas. We took them to Florida. We took them to Virginia, West Virginia. We took them to Missouri. We took them to Wisconsin, Michigan. We took them all over the nation here. Every summer I took at least 2 weeks off. Now, it was a paid vacation, so I had it coming to me. Did we spend a lot of money? Yeah, I would save money, and we would go on vacation. It was, I think the experiences with the kids was a good investment. Would we be better off money-wise had we not went so far? Maybe we just went to a couple of the parks around here, which we would do during the week anyway, or the weekends. Yeah. We did send them to private schools because they were smart kids, and I felt a better education was worthwhile investment. So I did that. It was a financial burden on the wife and I, but we did what we thought was right. Had I not sent them to the schools, this house would be paid off. My one son one time was complaining we weren't driving a fancy new car to school. And he's driving one of my beaters. I said, listen. He said, yeah, we can get better cars. We'll pull you out of that private school, put you in the public school. I said, Mom and Dad can both have Cadillacs because that's what we're spending a month. What we spend a month in your education, we could both have a Cadillac. Make that car payment. And his little sister told him to shut the hell up because she wanted to keep going to the private school. And like I said, they were A students, they were state scholars, so it was worth the investment. So that was my school thought. I've seen people save up hard and sacrifice during their younger years and retire, and 6 months later, they're 6 foot in the ground. So, but then there's people like yourselves that retired at a younger age and now are enjoying the benefits for decades, and that's great too. I am enjoying life. I did take a kind of a retirement last year. I had the ability to do so, and I took about 8 months off, and we traveled. We went to Arizona 3 times. We went to Missouri about 5 times. We went to Iowa, Michigan. We did a lot of traveling. Last year I traveled 1.6 times around the globe in my car. That's not counting us flying to Hawaii, but just driving the car, I would have went around the earth 1.5 times. So those are experiences that we're going to be able to fall back and remember all our life. Would I be in a better financial situation? Now, I'm not in a bad situation, but would I be in a better financial situation had I not done that? Sure. But, a daughter was getting married. Had another daughter in Hawaii that I really wanted to go see, and we've never been to Hawaii. So it was worth it. Realtors love cash. There we go. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Fleet Reserve Conventions. I had one of these just pop. Not supposed to pop when we're waiting to get in the bath. Every now and then, because the liquid's hot. Yeah, absolutely. Grayman Prepping, yep. Hey, Harvey Black, welcome in. So, yeah, give a shout out to some of my preppers and that. Harvey, don't forget Prepper Nation. I do like John at Prepper Nation. Grayman Prepper, Van City Prepper, Northern Girl Hobbies, Alaska Prepper, of course, Rudy. Jennifer Cruz, you want to get some spiritual guidance. She has a nice channel. I like that one. Sassy Gal Prepping by Faith. Of course, the Body Beatdown. It's a real cool shirt. You just do it to it. I do have my other channel, MacBean's Farms and Prepping. I am also on Rumble. Now, I'm on Rumble like twice, but my channel I made, and I think Harvey found this, my channel is Scottish Fitness. So I have a couple subscribers on just me being on there under MacBean Scott. And if those could sit there and move their subscription to Scottish Fitness, I'd appreciate it. And then the videos that I upload on YouTube also get uploaded on there. So if they ever do spank me and say I was a bad boy and take me off for a week, you can still watch my videos on Rumble. I would like to see it grow, but I understand getting to a new format is hard to get people doing it. It is free. They will ask you for subscriptions. You don't have to do it. If to subscribe to Rumble, it doesn't cost anything to be a subscriber to me. It doesn't cost you anything to be on it because I'm doing it for free also. Also, our Wild Man Survival, you want to see about some of the things that are out there growing wild in your woods that you can eat, and making a bow and other field craft, definitely Arc Wildman Survival is a good one to see. Bunch of drunk retired Marines and Navy people. They're still all great. Yep. So I was Army. My two oldest kids were Navy. My youngest is still in the Air Force. My dad was Army. He was in World War II and the Korean War. And my father-in-law, he was a Marine during the Vietnam era. So we have and then lots of uncles and cousins were also in the service. We're well set up there. So yeah, Scottish Fitness on Rumble. I appreciate if you would just subscribe on that as a backup. So if any time that YouTube, sometimes YouTube has issues and they crash, then you can still catch me on Rumble. I can also do live streams on there, and once I get more than 3 subscribers, I might start doing dual live streams where I'll have the tablet up here, pop it on Rumble, and I'll have the computer on YouTube. But I'll still keep live streams on YouTube, especially at the gym. And like I said, today I will have time. It's time to pull the first batch out. I will have time to throw some discus. I'll probably be doing that pretty quick because I have been on here about an hour and a half. But at least I'll let you see the first batch come out. I do have a safe way of doing this. I always say keep a thread grip on this thing because you don't want that bottle slipping out, hitting the floor and breaking, because all of a sudden you have a hot water grenade. So when I do pull it out, I do cut the heat back down to simmer. And so you're supposed to leave it in the bath for about 5 minutes. And but it's still on heat, and I do have a safe way of grabbing it. So I am going to bring it up and put it up on here. You can kind of hear the lids popping because there is a lot of pressure. And make sure you don't grab them by the lids. And make sure, I always use a 2-handed grip. Am I strong enough one-handed to do this? Of course I am. Well, once again, I don't want that hot water grenade. So the 15 minutes in that hot water bath, if there were still any microbes in there, nope, that I didn't want to do, you can pretty much consider them killed. So every now and then, when you open up your hot water bath, you'll have a broken jar, which sucks, but it happens. Usually not when you have a lot of new jars. Like these are all new. And like I said, I'll be using the bigger jars for dry storage for sugar, beans, and rice. Put the cover back on, kick it back to medium heat, and reset the timer. And then, well, I will have one more process. So, what time is it? 11:46, 11 or 10:45. So this will be done at 11. I'll be done with them all at 11:15. So I let these set for a few minutes before I tighten the lids. I still wanted it to cool down a little bit before I start getting that vacuum seal. I don't want too much of vacuum seal. Once again, everybody, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. And here's the homemade salsa. All the ingredients except for one onion came from my own garden. And this is one of the best ways to pack nutrition, not so much in calories, but in vitamins and minerals, which are essential for your health. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, if I thought my signal would be strong enough up at the road, I'd live stream me throwing. But I don't think it's going to cooperate that way. I've just gotten to meet a lot of nice people and a few movie stars. I was at the Palms for training for Decor, and I got to meet Kevin Costner, and Ryan Stiles was there. Didn't really get to meet him. I got to chat with Cheech Marin. He was fun. And also there was a band member there, one from ZZ Top. And I better plug in my device. I'm running out of power. Which I have my cord upstairs, not downstairs. So this is probably going to be a good time for me to shut down the live stream. I have been going on for over an hour and a half. So I'll let everybody get back to their daily routine. And the guy who did sound effects, oh, cool. And thanks everybody for joining in this morning. Remember, rest, nutrition, and proper exercise will make your life more enjoyable. Anything that's going to cause you to move, you want to make sure it doesn't cause pain. You want to make sure it's something that you're comfortable doing. But at least 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week will help your body, circulatory system, and mind and body also. So everybody, thanks for joining in. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget about Michael. He just got over 200 subs. Yay. Maybe as I have.